friends, welcome back to Natalie's Life. Today I have a very special guest star on my channel. She is my Nana. Thanks for coming.
Oh, thank you, Natalie. I'm glad to be here.
November 11th is Veterans Day, and there are many people that have served and are serving our country. And one of those special people that I want to recognize is my step-grandpa Rick. My Nana would like to talk about my step-grandpa Rick and kind of tell his story, his background and things. He was actually in the Vietnam War, and he is a very special person that I admire and continue to admire every day. So we are going to go ahead and get started. And if you haven't clicked the subscribe button, make sure you click that subscribe button. Other than that, if you've already done that, then we can go ahead and get started.
Thank you, Natalie, for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Rick was a really unique person. And Rick and I were together for the last 23 years. And
Long time.
A long time. And I always called him a high-maintenance man, but
Yeah.
he was a very, very special person, generous and kind, and extremely hardworking, which I really, really appreciated, and have the same kind of work ethic.
Yeah.
And he joined the military when he was 18, and he went to Vietnam just basically by the time he was 19, he was in combat, and he ended up to be a medic, and he was on the front lines for a couple years. And so he saw many things at a young age that made him and really, really took part of his heart.
Yeah.
There were lots of things he didn't talk about, but lots of things he did talk about. And one of those things was losing his best friend when he was with him in Vietnam side by side, and Rick was left and his best friend died. And that always really, that was a very difficult time, because he took that with him forever.
Yeah.
Rick had a unique way of making you laugh, and he made me laugh every day. That was a good part.
Yeah.
And he just was, he was really fun to be around. He really was.
Yeah, he was a really special person, and every time I would come over to you guys' house, I would just laugh, because you guys were just two peas in a pod. I mean, just best friends. And actually, you know, the term soulmates can't be used for a lot of people and couples, but my Nana and Rick are true soulmates. So that is something that, you know, you'll cherish forever.
Oh, yes, Natalie, I guess, you know, you never think that that can happen to you.
Yeah.
You know, people talk about it, and you see it in the movies, and you see different couples and whatever, but you really don't think that that can happen to you. And he would, his comment to me was, Heather, I love you. And I go, well, Rick, I love you too. And he would say, no, Heather, I really love you.
Oh, and that's really special, because, you know, you really know that the connection you have is just this unconditional love.
Yep, that's right, exactly. And getting, you know, taking the time of listening to someone and getting to know someone, and feel their heartache, and walk together, and still have that special bond. You know,
Yeah.
it's just it's a unique experience. And we've lost soldiers recently, and I really admire all the families that have soldiers in combat now, soldiers in the military, soldiers in active service. Because when you lose someone, that is just the most heart-wrenching, difficult time. And one of the soldiers that died recently, his wife, was interviewed. And I don't know what her name was, but she said it probably the best. She said, you know, everyone's looking for a hero. And some people are heroes. And my husband was one of those.
Aww.
And That really does say. Rick never liked that term. He was he didn't want to be called that. He would always correct you if anybody said it to him that he wasn't the hero. The only heroes were the people on the Vietnam Wall and the people in the cemetery.
Wow.
So that was his comment on being a hero. That wasn't him.
Well, to me, he definitely is my hero for sure. I mean, I can't even imagine what it was like in the Vietnam War. Did he ever tell you any stories, or did he just kind of keep it to himself?
Well, the story he told was the one about his friend, and that was really a very difficult one. And he did get the Bronze Star in Vietnam. Never talked about that. Never talked about the incident. Talked about many other things, but he never talked about the incident of why he was awarded the Bronze Star. He just considered it his job and helping other people. I think the hardest part for him, and he did say it many times as a medic, is to be there when somebody you know is gonna die, and you are holding them in your arms, and to try to comfort them. My comment to him after listening many times is, you help people live in this life, and you help people die. And his and he was there, and they got that person with them at that time. And that's actually what happened with Rick and I, because I was there with him.
Yeah, when he passed.
When he passed, yeah.
Yeah, and that was his one request was, to be at home with my Nana, because he was sick for a while. He was in and out of the hospital, in and out of the ICU, just very sick, but he was able to just pass peacefully.
Yes,
here.
and he was at home, and that was, yes, and he wanted me there, and that was really, that was...
It meant something.
It meant a lot to me too, so,
Yeah.
but I thought it was really about the best experience for me that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I remember when he did pass, that his face, he mentioned that he just looked so peaceful.
He did.
It was just...
He found that peace.
Yeah.
Yep.
Finally, he wasn't in any more pain or suffering.
Right, and to remember him is just really a pleasure. So
Yeah, it is, and he's a really special guy.
in Vietnam, there were a lot of things that they were exposed to, a lot of chemicals, a lot of different environments, and some of those things the Vietnam soldiers paid for dearly when they came home. And he was always so grateful that the Iraq soldiers and the Afghanistan soldiers were so appreciated when they came home. And they had parades and they had things, and they were thanked for their service, and that really meant a lot to him, because when he came home, people did not thank them, and they were not happy with them, and they were called names, and it was a whole different mindset. And he was grateful that that had turned around now.
Yes.
And that there's a different thought to the military, because Rick really, he really loved his country. Usually he picked jobs that would be service-related jobs, like being a police officer when he came back, working as an MP, being a security guard. I mean, it was usually things that had to do with giving back to the community or to other people. So,
and that takes a real serving heart. I mean, you can't do that without having that serving heart and wanting to just help people.
He was totally generous. I mean, that was one thing about Rick. He would give you first, and he didn't really care if he had something. He was genuine that way.
Yeah, no matter if you are part of his family, friends, anybody. I mean, if you were just a person he just met, he'd do that same thing for you.
And one of the reasons that we moved down here in 2012, about 5 years ago, and he passed away in 2016 in March. And when we moved down here, we love it down here. We could probably do a commercial. When he came down here, we were walking into a restaurant, and I was helping him. He had a cane, and I was helping him, and he was walking along, and this person stepped back and held the door for us. Rick had on his Vietnam ball cap, and he said, "Thank you for your service." And Rick was so shocked. That's the first time in his whole life he had any stranger that said, "Thank you for your service."
Oh my
And that happened over and over here. People would hold the door. They would see it out of the clear blue sky. They would step aside for him. He just never, ever had that. and that was really a unique experience. He loved people down here, really did.
Oh yeah, yeah, they were kind and still are very kind, especially since, he was a veteran.
Yes, but then that also had to do with Natalie, because there was, let's see, I would think it was in 2012.
Yeah, it was in 2012.
Yeah, in 2012.
Yeah.
There was a Veterans Day program that Natalie, was it your?
It was my school, yeah. We had a Veterans Day program, and I thought to invite Rick and my Nana. I was actually a part of the decorating committee, so I got to decorate, which is one of my little niches that I like to do. I love to decorate and just make it pretty and special, and kind of pick the table that we were going to sit at, and it was really cool. I enjoyed it, and they made it really special for all of the people who have served.
Oh, they did, Natalie. You got a picture of Rick, and they had it up on the screen, and the meal was wonderful, and
it was delicious.
They had a program for them, and then they had pictures at the end. He just never forgot that.
No. Also, in I think it was 2012 as well, a restaurant had this really special lunch for people who have served, and so I thought it would be an awesome opportunity for Rick and I to go there and eat and talk, and it was really special.
Oh, no, you never forgot that.
Yeah. I haven't either.
Yeah, I think that was 2013.
Was it 2013?
When I went to go see my other daughter, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. No, those are all fond memories, and they, there's just a lot of those we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It always was special. He loved to play games. He loved to play cards. He really liked that. He wasn't the biggest traveler in the world. He had traveled all over the United States and all over, but he really loved to be with family. That was really important to him. Yeah.
I'm sure he was done traveling.
Yeah, that's right. He was kind of traveled out there.
Yeah.
But that's it. I feel blessed, really.
Yeah. No, me too. I feel completely blessed for the time that we got with Rick, and for his helping heart. I mean, even when he was sick, it was incredible how much he just, wanted to just do for himself. It's like, no, you go do what you need to do, or you do whatever, you sit there, and really, I mean.
Right, and they got to, when he really didn't feel good at the end, we were trying to find something. So every day we got up and you had to find one blessing for the day.
Yeah.
And so, there were some days that, wow, the sun is shining. Okay, that's your blessing. So that was one thing that we had each day. We prayed together, and we, made the best.
Yeah.
Out of each day.
That's important, because then you have those special memories.
That's it. Another special memory I have is he really thought I was a good cook.
She's amazing.
Oh no, I don't know about that, but he thought it anyway. So
she's amazing.
He always said how good my cooking was. So, and I mean, his mother was an awesome cook. So if I got close to that at all, I felt privileged. She always complimented me on that. And the other thing that he was really special about him was that he really appreciated what I did. You can do a lot of things, and you don't expect. I really didn't expect to be thanked.
Right.
But that was one big quality that he had. Thanked me every day.
Wow.
And so that is just that touches your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very appreciative, and
made it easy to do stuff.
Yeah.
Made it easy.
Not like, I have to do this. It was like,
No, I usually got up and thought, what can I do to make his life easier today?
Oh.
Yeah, that's how I got up every day. So, it was a mutual thing. I'm not saying it was easy every day to be with him. No, it wasn't. But we made that a special thing. No, I felt blessed, and I come from a family of military. I have 5 uncles on my mom's side that were in the military. 1 uncle on my dad's side that was in the military. I have a brother that's been in the military. But I never was around anyone who actually served in the Vietnam War, except Rick.
Right.
Or was in the Navy and then was with the Marines. And so, that it's a different type of person, and I really respected his call and his service and his call to duty.
Yeah, definitely. I respected him. I mean, seeing him, how he was, and his serving heart, And the way he talked to you, too, you know, that definitely made an impact on his life, especially with losing his best friend, I mean, right in front of you. But, you know, he was still positive, and he still just wanted to continue to help people and laugh. He laughed all the time.
Yeah, he did. We tried to find things to laugh about, because that's, you know, either you can laugh or you can cry. So
Yeah.
let's find something to laugh about. And
Yeah, let's laugh.
That's where we were. And you know, losing his best friend, there's certain things in life, there's defining moments.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes those moments can define you,
Yeah.
and sometimes you define the moments. And that particular moment defined Rick.
Yeah.
It made him who he was,
Mm-hmm.
and it made him who he wasn't.
Right.
Because there was a lot of struggle there with trying to resolve that, and,
Yeah.
and be able to handle that when you're the one left. And that was very difficult.
I
to
can't
be-
imagine that.
Very difficult to be
What did he go through on a daily basis? Did he, you know, have struggles with that every day, or did it kind of
Well,
fade out as he got older?
yeah, well, not necessarily, well, in the anniversary date, you know, that was always
Yeah.
very hard.
Yeah.
And that was September 6th, I can tell you, you know. So,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, that was always a very difficult time for him,
Yeah.
you know. And there was just certain things at times, you know, that reminded him of that. And it was a draft army that you were drafted in, you know.
Mm.
Now it's an all-volunteer army.
Yeah.
But Rick was not drafted. He
Really?
volunteered.
Really?
So yes, so he had
I
a
didn't know
different
that.
mindset, right? It
Huh.
wasn't like you were made to go.
Yeah.
It was like he wanted to go.
Wow.
And I'll never forget that he, and you know, I'm sure that the military says the same thing to you. Look at the person on your left, look at the person on your right. One of you will go home. And so they make it very clear that your commitment is, you know, the highest risk. And if we didn't have our warriors, where would we be?
Exactly.
Where would we be? Right.
Where would we be?
So I have just total respect for that, and
Yes.
and admiration for that type of commitment. Because believe me, I could make it through 5 minutes worth of boot camp. I can tell you that.
Me
No, I wouldn't
neither.
last out. I'm lucky to walk and chew gum. So although I do walk, but
I'd be like, "Where's my makeup?"
is there a hair out of place? Oh yeah, I think we wouldn't last in boot camp now.
No.
No, I have total respect for somebody
Yes.
who can make it through boot camp.
Yes, that's
No,
intense.
we are not a good example of boot camp people. No.
No.
No. And that was a hard thing.
That's the start of sacrificing, because, you know, you go to boot camp, you can't talk to people. I mean, just total, not isolation, but basically because you're isolated from your family, your friends, people that you really know. You can't talk to them, and you can't be in contact with them at all.
To
I
get
don't
through
know
that. Yeah.
his era.
It's the same type of deal. Yeah.
Wow. And
Yeah.
then, you know, going into war, it's complete isolation, new surroundings, new everything. You have
New
to be on your
country, new
A game.
climate.
Yeah.
Just the absolute the heat, the rice paddies, the water, the disease, the malaria, there's just so many things that you wouldn't even think about, that our military are just exposed to in all different sorts of environments where they all
Mhm.
are. So that's what I said. The respect I have for that is just
Yeah.
overwhelming.
High, very
Yes,
high. Yeah.
and when people don't understand why we should stand for the flag and why we should, sing the Star Spangled Banner and be respectful for that. Once you had somebody that's in the military, you really cannot understand that mindset.
Right.
You really, really can't. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's very, very difficult to sit by someone who has not had someone that sacrificed like that.
Right.
Right. No, so we're open by an example of showing what that's like, that other people can understand how important that is for our society.
Yeah.
And for us as people. By disrespecting the flag, I feel that we have disrespected the people who fought and died for our country.
Yeah.
That's really how I look at it, you know. And that's how, if you ask any person that's been in the military, they will tell you the same thing.
Mhm.
Because it is just very hard to understand that mindset. So
Yeah.
hoping by example and by showing how important it is that
Mhm.
we can change that.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
And I really enjoyed talking about Rick, even though it was difficult.
Natalie.
Yeah, I love you, Nan.
I love you too.
It's really special, and he's a special person. And, you know, we need to remember our soldiers, but if there's nothing else that we can do, we can pray for them. We can pray for their safety. We can pray for themselves. We can pray for their families, pray for their protection. There's so many things that we can pray for them for. So if you have a loved one that is serving in any of the armed forces, or if you know of anyone and you feel like you can't do anything to really help them, definitely pray. That will help them. I really admired my step-grandpa Rick. He was a really special person, and I cherish the time that we all got with him, and I'm just so grateful that I had the experience of knowing a Vietnam veteran. He is my hero, and I'm so grateful and thankful for him. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Well, and in closing, I'd like to say, I usually have this as in my letters, and I'm saying, I'm sending you a hug. Can you feel it?
Yep.
All right, Natalie.
I love you,
I love you too,
man.